Air duct cleaning and decontamination, one of the most lucrative sectors in professional cleaning and restoration, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. In this video, we'll show you how to do it using the highly acclaimed RamAir HVAC cleaning and decontamination system. RamAir is the system of choice for more top HVAC cleaning and remediation organizations than all other duct cleaning systems combined. In addition to how extremely effective it is, the RamAir duct cleaning system is easy to set up and simple to use. With this system, there's no need to buy and maintain an expensive, cumbersome, negative air machine. There's no need to cut into the ducts. And one of my favorite things about it, the customer can see with their own eyes the dust and debris as it's being removed from what can be thought of as the lungs of the building. I'm David Hart, founder and CEO of RamAir International and inventor of the RamAir HVAC cleaning and decontamination system. I've been in the professional HVAC industry for 30 years, and I was never satisfied with the equipment and methods available for duct cleaning. So when I started my own HVAC cleaning company, I also started designing a better way to clean ducts. I never imagined being a global manufacturer. I never imagined this method would be adopted and taught by the world's leading HVAC organizations. I just wanted something that really worked better. So let's dig into the RamAir system and see how it works, which is very simple. In fact, you'll be ready to start cleaning ducts right after this video ends. Okay, let's start with the vacuum. With an incredible 141 inches of lift, the Cyclonic Power Vac has all of the suction power you'll need to not only clear out dust, but larger debris, no matter how big. Every Power Vac comes with a muffler that reduces the decibel level by 400%. Attach the vacuum hose to the intake port here, then turn it on when you're ready. This package also includes two different blasting hoses, one black and one blue. Which to use is largely a matter of preference. I typically use the Flex Jet on supplies and the standard blasting hose on returns. The blue one is the Flex Jet hose, which we'll use a bit later for the supply ducts. You can see how super flexible it is, as it's designed to feed itself through the duct. The black hose is to what we refer as the standard blasting hose. We designed it with just enough rigidity so you can feed it into the duct without it curling back, and enough flexibility that it can easily maneuver even the tightest of corners. Where you have runs of duct that are vertical or excessively long, we recommend using our blasting rods. They come in 5-foot lengths. You simply connect as many of them together as you need, hook it up to the air compressor hose with the control valve, and retract the same way you would the standard blasting hose. The blasting ball, side sweeper ball, and the air whip provide agitation inside the duct. You can tell which ball is which by color and the number of holes. The blasting ball has 6 evenly spaced holes around it. These holes blast air backward in a 45-degree angle. The side sweeper ball is blue. If you look closely, you'll see where it appears to be missing one of the holes. The air blasting from the other 5 pushes the ball against the side of the duct. This allows you to control where the ball is in the ducts. Send the ball sweeping along the top or sides of the duct by simply twisting the Flex Jet with your fingers. For situations that call for a more aggressive physical agitation, that's where the whip comes in. I like to use the whip on return ducts and supply ducts that are excessively soiled. One of the cool things about RamAir is the ability for you, and especially the customer, to see what's being removed from the ducts. The vacuum box, kickboard plate, and vacuum plate provide a visual display that before RamAir never existed in the air duct cleaning industry. The vacuum box, with its LED illumination, provides the best visual and is what we typically use on supply ducts. The vacuum plate is ideal for larger openings, such as the return duct in certain situations, and you'll use it a lot on commercial jobs. Under sinks and tight spaces is where you'll use the kickboard plate. The ball valve goes between your air compressor hose and your blasting hose, giving you control over the airflow to the blasting ball or whip. The air gun comes in handy for blasting register covers and parts of the air handler. The zip pole is a spring-loaded telescopic pole acting as a third hand, keeping the vacuum box or vacuum plate in place while you're working on sealing ducts. The hard custom carrying case keeps everything organized and protected during transport. When it comes to applying a disinfectant to the inside of the ducts, RamAir's patented Sanjet is truly a game changer. Until Sanjet, the only way to apply a solution inside an HVAC system was to blow the liquid into the return duct with the air handler running by way of a ULV fogger. The concept was the atomized liquid would be distributed throughout the system, but in reality, it just didn't work. One of the most important things about applying a disinfectant is applying enough of it to coat the surface you're treating. It also has to stay on that surface for a minimum dwell time. Before Sanjet, so much needed to be fogged into the ducts, the entire structure would be saturated. Liquid dripping down the walls and windows. From the ceiling, everything soaked. Sanjet completely solves this problem by ensuring that 100% of the disinfectant is applied exactly where you want it, to the inside of the ducts, with none of it entering the living space. There are only three main parts to the Sanjet: the sprayer assembly, the blasting hose, and the applicator ball. The sprayer assembly consists of a handle, trigger, feed tube, and a 32-ounce refillable aluminum canister. The applicator hose is the same as the standard blasting hose used for cleaning. And the applicator ball is like the blasting ball, except it has 13 holes situated in a 360-degree pattern to distribute fog evenly and deep into the duct. And Sanjet 2 comes in a hard custom carrying case. Virtually every forced air system you'll encounter has three main parts: the return ducts, the air handler, and the supply ducts. When you begin, locate the return duct opening, and there may be more than one. First, remove the grill cover. Take the grill cover outside and clean it off. The air gun that comes with the system works well here. For more heavily soiled covers, you may need to spray it with a cleaner or degreaser and then rinse it off with water. Where the HVAC system's filter is located is going to determine your cleaning process. In this case, the filter is located at the air handler. This one has a disposable filter. We can simply replace it. For reusable filters, just clean them and pop them back in. Before you swap out or clean the filter, you're going to use it to catch what we blast out of the return duct. So, in this case, make sure the air handler fan is on. Next, screw the air whip onto the black standard hose or the blasting rods. Then feed the air whip into the duct. Once you're as far as you can go, begin blasting. Thoroughly clean the duct by slowly retracting the whip until you reach the duct opening. Any dust that remains on the opening can be blasted off with the blowgun, directing it toward the inward flow of air. Okay, so what if the filter is not at the air handler? In that case, remove the register grill and position the vacuum plate over the opening. If the duct is on the ceiling, this is where the zip pull comes in. Turn on the power vac and attach the vacuum hose. Then, insert the air whip and agitate the duct. As a final step, blast the loosened debris toward the vacuum. And that's it for the return portion of the HVAC system. The second of the 3 steps is cleaning the air handler. First, make sure it's turned off. Flip the breaker switch near the furnace or at the breaker box. Again, this system has a filter at the air handler rather than at the duct opening. And if you remember, we used it to catch the debris when we cleaned the return duct. Next, remove the door panel. If it's soiled, clean it off. If accessible, clean the blower fan and coil. The fins on the coils are easily bent, so you don't want to blast them with compressed air. If they're covered with a layer of buildup, peel it off by hand. Or you can use a metal brush like this one, being sure to always brush with the grain of the fins. For light soiling, spray the coil with a foaming coil cleaner. Spray it on liberally and let it do the work. It'll loosen the debris as it liquefies and drip down into the pan. There's typically no need to rinse. To clean the blower fan and surrounding area, remove the covers for access. You can use the blasting ball to get into the fan blades and the area around the fan. Use the vacuum plate and power vac to contain and remove the debris you're blasting loose. Before you start on the supply ducts, turn the air handler back on so air is running through the system. That creates a massive amount of positive airflow, which we're going to use in the cleaning process. Remove the register cover and put the vacuum box over it. Connect the vacuum hose into the vacuum port and turn on the power vac. For supply ducts, remember you can either use the black standard hose or the flex jet. Typically, I prefer to use the flex jet hose with the side sweeper ball attachment. Feed the blasting hose in through the red grommeted port. If the duct opening is on the floor, apply pressure with your foot or knee to hold it securely. Then turn the valve to begin blasting. If you're using the flex jet, you'll feel the hose pull into the duct as forward propulsion is generated by the backward thrust of the blasting. Assist the hose through the duct by feeding, twisting, and turning the hose, especially around bends and corners. When using the standard hose, you'll want to run the hose into the duct first, then thread on the vacuum box, attach the vacuum hose, and blast as you slowly retract the hose from the duct. One of my favorite parts about the RamAir system is the visual wow factor. You can see what's being removed in real time. It blows customers away when they see the sheer amount of filth through which all the air they breathe has been circulating. Now that you've blasted the duct and removed all the debris that can become airborne, the next step is to remove the larger, heavier stuff. Do this by feeding the vacuum hose back into the supply duct. Over 30 years, I've pulled out toys, beer cans, 7 bricks, and even in one house, 24 pieces of silverware. That's 8 forks, 8 knives, 8 spoons. As a final step, vacuum around the register and the register itself. Once you've cleaned all the supply ducts, you've completed the cleaning process. There are many situations that call for the application of an EPA-registered disinfectant or chemical neutralizer into an HVAC system. It's a cardinal rule that a surface be thoroughly cleaned before it's disinfected, so be sure you clean the HVAC system before applying a disinfectant. Examples of when you'll want to perform this step are mold remediation, forensic restoration like trauma and crime scenes, meth and fentanyl decontamination, and after fire and smoke. Remember to turn the air handler off for this. You want the solution to stay in the duct, not be blown into the interior of the dwelling. After you fill the Sanjet container, screw the handle back on. Attach the Sanjet ball to the applicator hose and insert it all the way into the duct. Attach the hose to the front of the Sanjet and the air compressor hose to the side port. In order for the liquid to properly atomize into a fog, the Sanjet must be held vertically during operation. Depress and hold the lever for a few seconds in order to prime the hose. Then begin retracting at a rate of approximately 1 foot every couple seconds. To treat the air handler, remove the applicator hose from the Sanjet and spray the blower fan, coils, and into the plenum. If you're using oxidizers, such as solutions containing hydrogen peroxide or chlorine dioxide, it's advised to rinse with water after 15 minutes to avoid corroding the electrical components and coil fins. When you're done, detach the air compressor hose from the Sanjet. Depress the trigger to release the pressure in the canister, and thoroughly rinse the canister. Fill the canister back up with water and screw the handle assembly back on. Reattach the air hose and flush out the sprayer assembly. And that's it. We've just performed a thorough cleaning and decontamination of a forced air HVAC system. And we covered a lot of ground here, so go back and review this content when you need to. And share this video with your coworkers too. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at 888-272-6247. That's 888-2-RamAir, or email us at support@ramair.co.